Hiya Paul, thanks for the footage. First of all, I'm going to point out where your bad shots are coming from. The 3 shots you've complained of are a pull with your shorter, more lofty clubs, a push fade with your longer clubs, particularly your fairway woods, and the dreaded shank. So if we have a little look first of all at where the pull's coming from, and then we'll link it back and suggest some changes that you might want to make. As you come into the golf ball, there's a tendency to just get a little bit of a hang back and a release of the club. So as you come into that ball, your body stops, you throw the club head at the golf ball, your body stop. Anytime your club passes your hands with a lofty club, you're increasing rapidly the amount that the club face closes, and that's going to result in a pull to the left. Also, when that's happening, if we take a little look at you here down the line, what you're going to see is during your downswing, your hips are going to move in towards the golf ball, and that's illustrated by how much your backside moves in from that line during your downswing. You can see there's a move forward, hips in towards the golf ball, what we call an early extension. That causes the body to stop rotating properly, that causes the spine to straighten and the arms to be thrown away. So what you've got is you've got arms moving away from you with a club face or a club head that's passing your hands. Now whenever that happens, you can tend to obviously start the ball off a little bit too much to the right with a less lofty club. You're going to pull it straight left with a lofty club, because as we illustrated before, that club head is passing your hands, closing the club face down. But also the club, as the hips move in towards the ball, the arms are moving away from you, they're moving in towards the golf ball. That's running the risk of presenting the neck of the club to the ball and you hitting a shank. If you get stuck under it a little bit too much because of that, particularly with your longer clubs, that's your push fade to the right. If we compare that to what we see here with David Howell on the bottom right, we're going to see a much better position through the ball. You can see how his backside stays more on that line throughout the downswing. So it does come away from it a little bit, but nowhere near as much as yourself. You don't see those hips coming in towards the golf ball during the downswing. So what we need to do is look at how we can stop those things happening. And to be honest with you, it's quite a simple change that you need to make. If we take you back to your setup from face on, the first thing we notice there is that the right arm seems to dominate things. You're definitely reaching out and over with the right arm at setup rather than down and under that we see here with David Howell. We're seeing a much more balanced setup position here, whereas this setup is dominated more with this very long left arm and a relatively long right arm and a relatively kinked left arm, whereas what we tend to see with better players are both arms comfortably extended down in front of them. So you're reaching out and over with the right arm a little bit too much. What that's going to do, if we look at it from down the line, is it's going to produce a slightly open shoulder alignment and a slightly open hip alignment. The footage is a little bit dark here, but the shoulders are slightly open, as are the hips, in relation to the alignment of the feet and the aim of the golf club. So you've got open shoulders, right arm leading too much in the setup. We need to feel that we've got a little bit more weight on the right side. So if we look at your setup and make a box there from your feet, you can see that you protrude from outside the box here with your left side, and there's a little bit of a gap here on your right side. In moving your weight a little bit more to the right, now you want to feel like you've got about 55% of your weight on your right side at setup. What that's going to do is it's going to make you more balanced, but it's also going to give you a better spine tilt. Your spine tends to sit too vertical, if anything, leaning slightly towards your target. What we see here at the bottom with David Howell is a spine angle that sits a little bit more away from his target, and what that does is allow him to make a turn during the early part of his backswing, as opposed to what we see here with you, which is too much of a lateral movement. You can see that the first move is to bump everything over to the right. So you've moved your swing centre over to the right in the early part of your backswing. As a result, as you first move down, is a lean back onto your left side. So there's this lean back onto the left side, putting you in a position where you're way out in front of the golf ball at that point. Consequently, you've got to stop, back up, throw the hands at it, which, as we discussed earlier, gives you the pull. Anytime you see a player stopping and backing up, you're going to see from down the line a player whose hips are coming in towards the golf ball and the club going away from him. So this move here, this image that you've got of the hips coming in and the arms going out, leading to the push fade and the shank, is also caused by this position here where the spine backs up and the club head is thrown at the golf ball. So just to recap, the big change that we need to make here, Paul, is we need to feel simply that we're going to put 55% of the weight onto the right side. We're going to feel like we're more behind the golf ball at setup, so we want to feel like the spine tilts away from the golf ball a little bit more at setup. That in turn is going to allow you to turn much better in the backswing and unwind through it in the downswing without the fear of getting ahead of the golf ball, resulting in you backing up and flipping. So wait a little bit more on the right, feel like you're a little bit more behind it, and then work on simply turning back and turning through, trying to keep the pace of your swing constant. Good luck with it, keep me updated on your progress, and no doubt we'll be in touch soon. Well done.